I didn't think much of it. I got in the limo with him. We got into the limo. Vince started talking about magazines, T-shirts, wrestling dolls. We don't have a referee doll at this point. A female would be great. On and on and on. Again, starts talking about a $500,000 a year contract. Next thing I know, Vince McMahon is unzipping his pants. I was pretty shocked at that point. I mean, we're talking profession here, and suddenly he wants more than just profession.
Well, you know, we've covered the Vince McMahon situation where the CEO of the WWE has stepped down to how can we put it, misconduct payments. There's a lot going on right now, and it's a major issue at the WWE. But the thing about it is, this has not been the only controversial situation that has happened to Vince McMahon. There's been a lot of stuff that has, you know, through the many years since he's taken over that he's gone through. One of them happens to be the steroid situation, the death of Owen Hart, and many other deaths and situations that have brought spotlight onto the WWE and situations at the corporation. Now, the misconduct allegations, the money and stuff like that, has brought out an old allegation. And it seems to, you know, things come back to haunt you into the situation. And remember this from many years ago, and this goes all the way back to '96. This is off Kotaku. Vince McMahon, 1986 rape allegations resurface as former wrestler collaborates story. Amid news of misconduct and hush money payouts to the WWE, Rita Chatterton, the first female referee for then World Wrestling Federation, revisited her rape accusation against the WWE CEO and chairperson Vince McMahon in an interview with New York Magazine. McMahon has stepped back from his roles while the company board of directors conducts an investigation into his affairs with another former WWE employee who has reported paid $3 million in a separation agreement, barring her from her disparaging either the company or the relationship with McMahon. The investigation is also looking into allegations of misconduct against both McMahon and WWE head of talent relations John Laurinaitis. Chatterton's accusation goes back much further, however. She first accused McMahon of draping her in the summer of 1986 during a 1992 interview with Geraldo Rivera on his show Now It Can Be Told.
I was forced into oral sex with Vince McMahon. When I couldn't complete his desires, he got really angry, started ripping off my jeans, pulled me on top of him, and told me again, if I wanted a $500,000 a year contract, I had to satisfy him. He could make me or break me, and if I didn't satisfy him, I was blackballed. That was it. I was done. When Vince was all said and done, Vince just sat back and said, at one point when I first met Vince, let me back up here just a little bit. The very first time I met Vince, I was told that if I had any sexual relationships with anyone in the Federation, I was done. My career was done. I was engaged. I had no problem with that. When Vince was said and done, Vince looked at me and said, do you remember what I told you about having sexual relationships with anyone? Well, you just did. And he just sat back and had this big smile and this big grin and just started laughing at me.
During the interview, Charlton alleged that McMahon propositioned her with sex during a private meeting to get a higher paying WWF contract. By then, the statute of limitations for drape had already run out and charges were never filed. McMahon hired Charlton to the WWF to referee for his storyline where American singer Cyndi Lauper managed wrestler Wendy Richter after she was hired. Charlatan told New York Magazine that her friend and former wrestler Leonard Inzani warned to stay away from Vince. He could make me or break me, and if I didn't satisfy him, I was blackballed. That was it, Charlatan told Riviera in '92. I was done. Charlatan told the New York Magazine that McMahon pretended not to know her when they both attended Andre the Giant's funeral. McMahon and his wife would later file a lawsuit against Charlatan and Rivera for false drape accusations. They later dropped the charges as the WWE had its hands full with unrelated trials regarding child molestation, sexual harassment, trafficking, illegal performance-enhancing drugs. As I said before, it's been a lot of problems at the WWE. Today, McMahon and the WWE face new controversy as the misconduct probe continues. His daughter, Stephanie McMahon, is serving as wrestling promotional interim CEO and chairperson, while McMahon maintains the creative control of the ongoing WWE storylines. The news of the WWE internal investigation of McMahon led former wrestler Leonard Inzani to corroborate Charlatan's allegation against McMahon in the same New York Magazine reporter. Was she taken advantage of? Absolutely. Inzani told magazine, was she scared to death? Absolutely. Did she want to do that? Probably not. Both of them told the publication that they're not surprised by McMahon's current investigation, and Charlatan adds that she is glad the allegations against him are being investigated. Now the girls come forward, and I'm sure others will come forward, Charlatan told New York Magazine, because we're not the only two. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And this is true. You know, there have been a lot of situations, the flight from hell, and many other things that have gone on in the WWE that needs to be investigated. And what ends up to be, and I said this before, this is also, and I was wondering to the situation that there are a lot of changes coming. Eventually, you know, we saw McMahon was most likely going to step away as new management is coming forward to take over the WWE. And I've said this, that the WWE is on its way out, you know, to the situation, because they're not as popular as they used to be. And that's the major situation. They don't have the ratings like, you know, the Iron Horse that they used to be years ago, you know, during the ECW, WCW days, where they were, you know, fighting every tooth and nail for every viewer that they can. Now, what's happening? WWE is being censored for a lot of their matches, more allegations, lawsuits, stuff that's coming from, you know, the skeletons in their closets are coming out to roost. And this is, you know, it's going to lead to, I guess, the demise of the WWE. I'm sorry to say that, you know. This is happening. And not only them, don't forget what's going on with their talent. We see, you know, the situation with Jeff Hardy, Tammy Stitch, and many others that, you know, are having DUI problems, drug abuse, alcohol, you know, a lot of situations that are going on in this industry. So you tell me, you comment below, let me know how you feel about this. You know, subscribe, like, share. Thank you for tuning in, and hope you're enjoying your summer. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye now.